got up early this morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. And I come out and I picked several kohlrabi. Some of them, it's getting warm enough that some of them aren't really making a head. So I went ahead and pulled them, and I'll clean all these greens and go ahead and bag them up. We'll eat them like we do collards. Just boil them in some chicken broth with a little bit of bacon or a little bit of bacon grease till they're tender. Eat them with cornbread, beans, fried potatoes. Very good meal that way. I didn't take all of them. I'm leaving them in as filler for now. Probably next week or the week after I'll come back out and I'll take the rest of the kohlrabis and cook next week. I like to eat greens just about every day. I'm gonna go ahead and take these not so pretty leaves off, throw them over. I either throw them over or I leave them in the garden like that just to rot down and make more dirt. But I replaced them so far. There's some, that is canterbury bells, and they have been in a seed starting pot for ages, so really needed in the ground. I put a toothache plant because the bees like it. There's a roly-poly, if you can see him. I put a little Beta Lux tomato out here. These guys are from Baker Creek, the seeds are. And they're a patio tomato. They're supposed to get between the size of a golf ball and a baseball. But every one of them is already making fruit. And they were in cups this size making fruit. So I'm trying to keep every one of them and find them a spot. And I thought, well, this will work perfect for a small tomato. I already had this banana pepper out here, but I went ahead and this is a Chinese 5-color pepper. I got them seeds at Baker Creek too a couple of years ago. We went on a trip over there and looked at their gardens, and they had these, and it was like Christmas lights hanging on this plant. Red, yellow, orange, purple, lavender. They were just beautiful colors. So we bought some seeds and we try to keep one out here. And then I planted another batch of canterbury bells right there. These pepper plants will get big enough to fill in this gap between them, and hopefully, I won't probably try to save seed because most likely they'll cross-pollinate. Banana pepper and a 5-colored pepper. 5-colored pepper's hot. I don't want to eat a hot banana pepper. But that's what I've been doing this morning. Not sure what I'll put here when I pull this kohlrabi up next week. I've got several starts of rose mint agastache. I could put one of those here, but let me show you how big an agastache plant gets. That is one plant. It's Navajo Sunset. This will be its second year. Second year. It never died all the way back this winter. It stayed green about 4 inches above the ground, and it's quite a bit bigger than it was last year, but still not a monster. It smells so good. If it took over this whole corner, I wouldn't care. But I don't know if I want to plant this big in this bed. I already have a very large sage plant in here, so I'm not sure what I'll put there. I have some more herbs. I may put dill in there, or what else have I got over there? I've got several other things I can put in there. I don't want to put any of the mints because the mints can take over that I'm starting. The Peruvian black mint and the I don't want to put thyme. I have a pot of thyme here, and I have a place of thyme in this corner. I'm hoping to fill this from the agastache to the fence with thyme. I'll take And pull up all these onions this week too, and go ahead and take most of the greens, chop them up, and freeze them. And there's the horehound. So if I could get the time to take over this corner and slowly make my way around where there's not a bed with perennial herbs, I would be happy with that. This is the asparagus bed over here. I put a calendula in that corner. I had already pulled out a kohlrabi, so I might find some little herb to go there, a perennial herb, maybe an agastache there. This little area here is usually where I put cilantro, but I stuck those kohlrabis and brought the cilantro on out to here. And of course that's going to be garlic now. That's a perennial elephant garlic. So that spot from there down is full, and it should get thicker. So I'll think of something to go here and over there. But the rose mint agastache, I just don't know about putting it in my... This is my bulb bed. There's tulips and these decorative alliums that are just about done. Several different kinds of tulips in there. I'll probably plant some fall crops that will be dying off or used up by the time the spring bulbs come out. So I'm not going to put any more perennial herbs. This sage is enough in this one. The agastache may just have to find homes in like that corner by the house. Really needs some kind of garden bed put in, and that may be what I do, is put a garden bed in over there and put agastache rose mint up against the house there where that gray tote is. The reason that gray tote is there and those pieces of boards are there is because we had a problem with a coyote. He was able to get between the underpinning and get under the house, and he would follow it, and we have a crawl space under the porch over there, and he would come out that crawl space and snatch a chicken or a duck and then go back under the house, back out through there into the woods. When he wasn't doing that, there is a, let me see if you can see it, there's a really big rock right there behind that trash can, and that's where we dumped scraps in front of that rock for the chickens, and the compost pile and everything was right there. He started hunting behind that rock. He'd just hide behind it, and then he'd come out and get them. Well, by the time Tucker got to him, he was long gone. Anyway, he picked off, no telling how many. He got my sultan, like 9 ducks. It was a bad summer last year. So I don't know if a neighbor shot him, trapped him, or he died. He had been, I guess, kicked out of his pack. He was old, mangy looking. Anyway, he was gone, but I don't want to take a chance anymore. Not with the woods as thick as they are over there. I'm not gonna put my scraps out anymore. My chickens roam on their own far enough without a temptation. The tomatoes my husband put in stakes, and now I can just tie them up to the wooden stakes. And what these are, these were just lath strips, fern strips, I guess is what they call them. They're usually about $1 a board, 8-foot boards. At Home Depot now, with lumber prices going up, they might not be as inexpensive, but I watched a Navajo Joe Paw, I believe his name was on YouTube, very informational channel, but he made these, and these boards he attaches, just these little section boards on the side, and that's how he hammers them into the ground. Makes it a lot easier because they don't just push in. One end of the board is cut like that. And I take that extra piece I cut off and I make it long enough to make it as a hammer board and just screw it into the furring strip. And then I like to go ahead and have some ties. This is from an old pair of leggings. I just go ahead and tie strips on up and down the board and tie the tomatoes to it as you go. It's a lot easier to already have the strips out here. Now some of them have rotted, like this one. It's rotted, so I'll have to take it off and replace with probably just old t-shirt pieces of t-shirts. But you just tie them up to that board as they grow, and it keeps it from being such a sprawly mess in here. But the pruning I done has helped as well. Frees up a lot of airflow. Pulling some of these kohlrabis frees up airflow. There's a black dragon. This evening I got to come out with some soapy water. I have got aphids galore. If you can see this, if it'll focus. Don't know if it will or not. There's sorry about my finger. All these little things you're seeing are aphid skeletons and aphids. And I can run my hands down and just squish them. See, there's one right there on my finger. I could run my hands down every one of them and squish them. And that would be about as organic. I keep doing that, covering the camera. That'd be about as organic as you could get, just to run your fingers up and down them and kill them like that. But when you got this many tomatoes, that might take you all day. I don't have all day. I don't I don't have the energy to do all day. If I had ladybugs, they'd be out here having a feast. Ladybugs love to eat the aphids. So if you got them, they're a good bug. Try not to kill them. But this black dragon is making fruit already. Nice and pretty on the bottom. No signs of blossom end rot. I like that. And several on there. All these little white speckles you see on the leaves, that's skeletons off of aphids. That's how many I got. So today I'll probably mix up a little bit of neem oil and some organic dish soap that don't hurt my ground. It ain't nothing really strong. Just a few drops of that I'll mix up because see right there, the spider, that spider, garden spider, I believe, she likes those bugs, so I don't want to hurt her. But I'll get out here this evening and I'll spray everything with a soapy water neem oil concoction, to probably a teaspoon of neem oil, a couple of drops of dish soap to a gallon of water, and I'll spray all of these tomatoes. Because look at that. See them? Can you see them crawling? All them little bumps. That's all aphids. Yuck. And what they'll do is they'll suck the juices out of your plants, and they can kill them. And if they don't kill them, they'll make them so sick they don't want to produce. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how busy I got up and was before I had my first cup of coffee even. Now I'm going to take these kohlrabi leaves in and clean them up while I drink my coffee. Y'all have a good day. Love ya.